Good morning, Pittsburgh. Welcome to Pitt to the Point, live from the state-of-the-art Pitt studios. I'm Allie Ross.
And I'm David Altman. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Pitt to the Point is your one University of Pittsburgh to its regional campuses.
To the City of Pittsburgh, as well as national and international news, we'll be covering everything from entertainment, politics, and sports. Former President Donald Trump turned himself into the Manhattan District Attorney's Office on Tuesday. The former president currently faces 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Trump pled not guilty to all counts at his arraignment, as felony charges each carries a maximum of 4 years for a maximum sentence of 136 years, though experts doubt he will ever face jail time, even if found guilty. Even if these charges are tied to hush money payments he allegedly paid to adult film actress Stormy Daniels at the tail end of the 2016 presidential election. The Manhattan DA's office alleges that Trump paid $130,000 to prevent Daniels from publicizing a sexual encounter. Falsifying business records is typically a misdemeanor charge, but District Attorney Alvin Bragg said the charges were bumped up to a felony because they were done in an effort to commit or conceal other crimes. This is what he will have to prove in court for Trump to be found guilty. For a more in-depth look at how this trial could play out in court, the political sphere, we have our political reporter, Joey Tebben. What can you tell us, Joey?
Well, the Republican presidential primaries are still over 9 months away, but the defining storyline of the campaign season is seemingly already here. As former President Donald Trump conducts his third presidential campaign, an indictment and a criminal case against Trump have dominated the political conversation. Will this help Trump? Will this hurt Trump? Nobody knows. But what we do know is that this will be a political campaign season like we've never seen before.
It was an unprecedented scene at the Manhattan Criminal Courthouse on Tuesday as former President Donald Trump became the first United States president in history to be indicted. Specifically, Trump was charged with and pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. This crime is usually a misdemeanor offense, so in order for Trump to be convicted of a felony, New York County District Attorney Alvin Bragg and prosecutors will need to prove that the falsification of business records was connected to another crime. This is the first step in a process that may be months or years long, all while Trump simultaneously conducts his third presidential campaign. Trump's lawyers have until August 8th to file motions, and they're expected to file a motion to dismiss the charges entirely. Prosecutors will then have until September 19th to respond to these motions, and the next in-person hearing will take place on December 4th. Assuming the case goes to trial, prosecutors would like the trial to begin in early January, while Trump's lawyers are looking to move it to later in the spring. With the first Republican presidential primary debate of the 2024 election season scheduled for this August, Trump finds himself in a unique position with his expected political rivals. The prospect of indictment has only helped Trump's poll numbers over the past few weeks, and his main rivals have not yet used this as a way to attack him. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who's widely expected to challenge Trump for the Republican nomination, tweeted that the indictment was un-American and that he would not assist in an extradition request. From the candidates who have already entered the 2024 race, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley and entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy both spoke out against the indictment, and former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson said the decision on America's next president should be made at the ballot box and not in the court system. With Trump still the most popular politician in the Republican Party, his rivals have a dilemma on their hands, being tentative in their criticisms of Trump while convincing voters that they are a better choice for the nomination.
Trump is actually not the first president to be arrested. All the way back in 1872, while he was still in office, Ulysses S. Grant was arrested for speeding in a horse-drawn carriage on the streets of Washington, D.C. Now, Grant paid a $20 bail, only stayed in the police station for an afternoon, and didn't return in court after. Trump is not going to be so fortunate, though, because he will be spending a lot more than an afternoon under the scrutiny of the court system. For Pitt to the Point, I'm your political reporter, Joey Tebben. Allie and David?
Thanks, Joey. That's a fun fact about Ulysses S. Grant. So as we've covered, Bragg needs to establish that each of these 34 counts is connected to another crime in order to convict Trump of a felony. To clarify, this would be a Class E felony, which is the lowest kind. For more on what crimes these charges may be connected to, we're going to go to our business and technology reporter, Aiden Dean Dunn. Aiden?
Thanks, Allie. That seems to be the question everyone wants the answer to. So as we go back to this beginning of the chapter of the turbulent tales of Donald Trump, we look at the 2016, just before Donald Trump became the presidential elect. Now, Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, allegedly made hush money payments to Stormy Daniels, as mentioned, and So to answer your question, it's likely that it will be a campaign influence for trying to manipulate public opinion, or it will be a fraud charge for taxes. So let's get into it. In 2018, Michael Cohen pled guilty to 8 felony counts of criminal tax evasion and campaign finance violations, of which he was convicted and served time in prison. Among a number of other violations in Cohen's trial were the payments supposedly made to Stormy Daniels as hush money. And now, as Donald Trump prepares for his 3rd presidential campaign, the New York Supreme Court has charged the former president for falsifying the documents which recorded Trump's reimbursal to Cohen for this money paid to Daniels. In the documents in question, Trump listed these transactions as legal fees rather than reimbursals, allegedly to disguise the true nature of these payments and to provide Michael Cohen with the opportunity for tax relief by filing the payments as income. Fordham Law professor Cheryl Bader further explains the charges.
This is about how Cohen was reimbursed because this came to him as income, right? He said he rendered legal services. That's a taxable event, right? Also, there's expenses to the corporation, and that also has tax consequences. And we know that Cohen was paid more money than just the hush money payment, and part of that was to sort of account for and therefore cover up, right, the tax consequences.
Even critics of Trump have noted that this case is complicated and the charges will be difficult to prove. But one thing does seem clear, and that's that if the case is thrown out, Trump's claims of it being a, quote, political witch hunt will only be bolstered in the eyes of his followers. In those 24 hours after it was announced that Donald Trump would be indicted, not only did his poll numbers shoot up, but he also allegedly, according to his campaign, raised $4 million in donations from his supporters. Along with that, Trump Entertainment and Media Group, which is the shell company which owns Truth Social, the alternate media platform which Donald Trump once championed, skyrocketed in value as investors speculated that this Trump news would bring more traffic to the platform. But just days later, the value of that stock plummeted. With your business and technology reporting for Pitt to the Point, I'm Aiden Dean Dunn.
Thanks, Aiden, for that. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is expected back to Senate within a couple weeks after taking an extended break to receive mental health treatment for his mental health struggles. Fetterman was discharged last Friday from Walter Reed Medical Center right outside of Washington, D.C. Fetterman was treated for clinical depression for 6 weeks. Fetterman is the first U.S. senator to ever take extended leave from his duties for mental health treatment, sparking conversations about the importance of mental health awareness. After years of struggling, the Pennsylvania senator says he's hopeful for the first time and is looking forward to being the kind of father, husband, and senator that Pennsylvania really deserves. Fetterman's health issues first caught attention when he suffered a stroke last May. This year, just a month after taking office, he was hospitalized for lightheadedness. A week later, he checked himself into Walter Reed for depression. Fetterman was finally discharged last Friday and is expected back in Senate the week of April 17th. He'll not only return with improved mental health, but also hearing aids to help with the side effects of his stroke. The University of Pittsburgh appointed its new chancellor Monday morning. Chancellor-elect Joan T.A. Gable will serve as Pitt's first female chancellor in the university's 236-year history, replacing Chancellor Patrick Gallagher. Gable comes to Pitt from the University of Minnesota, where she served as that university's first female president for the past 4 years. Gable will start in the position in July. During her tenure at Minnesota, she developed a comprehensive and strategic plan for the university that resulted in record-setting graduation rates and annual research spending. She also oversaw transformational partnerships such as the Next Gen Med program with Mayo Clinic and Google. And even in her prior work in Minnesota, she garnered many accolades. Gable started her career teaching at Georgia State University in 1996 and then ventured to Florida State University, where she served as chair of the Department of Risk Management, Real Estate, and Legal Studies. Gable has also served as the provost and vice president for academic affairs at the University of South Carolina and the business school dean at the University of Missouri. We look forward to seeing what she can bring to Pitt. Since 1910, the Pitt News has provided the community with accurate and timely news. They provide the student body with coverage on issues that affect students at the university and across the country. And our very own Alexandra Ross has worked for the Pitt News as well. She's very proud to, extend what the Pitt News offers on the show.
Pitt volleyball impresses against Ohio State, showcases depth without new additions. Pitt volleyball looked comfortable in their 3-1 spring game victory over Ohio State, showcasing depth even without 6 new additions. While the lineup is far from solidified, head coach Dan Fisher is pleased with the new personnel it has in front of him. H2P, and good luck this season. Carly Rae Jepsen blasts confetti at PPC's Bigelow Bash, and students let loose. Students jump at the sound of cannons blasting red confetti and smoke into the air when Carly Rae Jepsen hit the beat drop before the chorus of her song, Run Away With Me. After emerging from a rose gold glitter curtain wearing black leather pants, Jepsen asked the students to dance with her. Pitt's graduate enrollment growth over the past 10 years has been slower than that of its peers. Let's hear a quick update by Tanya Babar.
Pitt's graduate enrollment growth over the past 10 years has been slower than that of its peers, which are Association of American Universities public schools such as Penn State University, according to Vice Provost for Graduate Studies Amanda Godley. U public schools have seen a nearly 25% increase in graduate enrollment over the past 10 years. Pitt is down about 9.6% in the same period. Pitt has 359 different graduate programs across 14 schools, including 62 programs that are exclusively online.
Coming up, Heather Lyke is being recognized for her incredible contributions to the athletic department at the University of Pittsburgh. Plus, hear about which teams are seeing some major shakeups in their coaching staff for the next season. And take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd for Pirates opening day at PNC Park. We'll be live on the North Shore to tell you everything you need to know about tonight's game after the break.
Is officially back and in the books.
Stefanski just shoots and she scores. They're the winningest team in Pittsburgh history.
Ball sent in. Sullivan, Pittsburgh, 1-0.
Great strike, Michael Sullivan.
Pittsburgh has a share of the ACC title in 2022.
The record set by Tony Dorsett has been broken by Israel Abanikanda here.
The Pitt Panthers are going into the next round for the first time in program history.
They come here, forged in the spirit of change. They come here, forged in the spirit of change.
Script now, like
they come here, They come here, forged in the spirit of change.
Are they serious?
We are the University of Pittsburgh.
Welcome back. Have you checked out our website yet? Well, if you haven't, give it a look.
If you want to see all your Pitt to the Point faves, like me and David, and stay up to date on current events, check us out on pittothepoint.com.
And if you want to learn about the magic that happens behind the scenes and see more of our good-looking team, like me and Allie, check us out on social media.
You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Pitt to the Point, and on Facebook at Pitt to the Point. Check it out. I can already smell the hot dogs and the popcorn from here because PNC Park is gearing up for the Pittsburgh Pirates opening day on the North Shore. They're going to face off against the Chicago White Sox today.
That's right, Allie. The Pirates are off to a hot start this season, starting out 4-2, winning a 6-game winning series against the Boston Red Sox. Standout studs include shortstop O'Neal Cruz and pitcher Mitch Keller.
Well, yeah, hopefully they continue that winning streak tonight.
I'm with you all the way, Allie.
Pitch to the Point's amazing city sports reporter Josh Byrne is live down at PNC Park this morning to bring us more on what to expect from the Pirates this season.
Josh, how you doing this morning?
What's going on, everybody? I guess since I'm live and we're having some technical difficulties, technology is great when it works. But what a day to come on board. 10 years it's been since the 2013 start of changes over here in Pittsburgh, black and gold. And today, a big blackout. David, Alley, thank you for having me on this morning.
Well, for sure, for sure. Jason, do you have a favorite opening day memory?
You know what? They all are, especially when you get to do home openers. You hear the national anthem. The best part of opening day for me was saying the national anthem, respecting the men and women that make freedom happen for us and not take it for granted. The flyovers, everybody does it differently at each stadium. So there was a year I think I made 3 or 4 opening days, technically opening days, and today's Pittsburgh's home opener. So of course, I'm going to go down there, see some of my old teammates, A.J. Burnett, Russ Martin. I know Michael McHenry. He's doing some announcing down there. So some of the old teammates and fraternity brothers will be down there. I'm not in my black yet, but I'm definitely going to be fitting in, not trying to stand out. We're trying to blend in with all the black, just like we had the blackout game for that awesome and memorable wild card game against the Cincinnati Reds 10 years ago. I can't believe 10 years ago. That makes me feel old.
Yeah, definitely. We were talking before about some of the standouts on the team, O'Neal Cruz being one of them. Can you speak to the potential that you see on this team this year?
You know, we always speak about potential with the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's always boatloads of talent. You know, the way that they run the organization and are able to get all these top prospects. The thing of it is we as fans, and I'm a fan now, I'm hoping that we can keep the band together. I'm hoping with Kutch there that he's going to have the power of that influence. I'm so happy for him to be living out his dream of ending his tenure as a major league player in the black and gold. It's just very fitting. I know that everybody, I'm getting chills right now thinking about the standing ovation that he will get. I know the good vibes of that 2013 and the championship MVP season that he had. It just brings back such good memories. And that's why my family and I, we're making it a little bit of a holiday. It's a Good Friday, great Easter weekend, a renewal. That's what the beauty of baseball and spring training and a new season. And here we are, right? Celebrate Pittsburgh and the way that Pittsburgh sports fans do. We're going to be down there celebrating and being a part of it.
For sure, for sure. Thank you for commenting. I kind of want to go off of, the vibe switch and the good vibes coming into this year with this Pirates team. Over the past couple of years, it's been the same old with the Pittsburgh Pirates. What is different about this season?
I don't know. It's just, to come out here 4-2. I mean, to sit there and say, it's the beginning of the season. I always break down the season like this. If you're into the numbers, 162 games is a long season. A lot of people, my fellow fraternity brothers in other major league sports, they always go, how do you guys do it? 162 games. Hockey players and football players look and scratch their heads going, that's a long season compared to theirs respectively. But, if you go 500, that's kind of a number to say, yeah, we had a good season. But if you want to make that playoffs and that tournament that they've created now it's more of a tournament to get in the door. You got to win around 90 games. So you split down the middle, 50 and 50, that's 100 games. Those 62 games is what they got to really focus on. If they're a 500 club, which I hope they're not, I hope they're above 500. They got to do some damage with the other 62 games. Like I said, they got to win despite. This is what they got. Hopefully, if they keep winning and trending up, the front office will add pieces like they did for us when we made our stretch run.
Definitely. And what do you think is going to make the difference in getting above that 500 number this season?
Well, health is always a big issue. I think just keeping the team together and getting that confidence. They've got a good blend of some veteran guys like McCutcheon and Hill on the pitching staff. You got all-stars that they're on the back end with Bednar. So, you got to have leadership in all departments. And I just hope, like I said, it's always what happens in the clubhouse. It happens guys off the field if they're hanging out. I've told a couple of the young guys here, I said, hey, I got a farm up in Wexford. If we need to barbecue to kind of keep team unity, I'll be that secret that secret sauce maybe that keep the guys just loose, on an off day, because they need it. They need to unwind and be civilians too. But, I know that Pittsburgh's behind this team. We're looking for another winning season. And that's what I love about this city is just such a good sports city, and the vibe is always good. So it's a baseball town. It really is. And when we were winning, we saw more of that. So I'm hoping for these guys, and it would be fitting. I know 10 years is not an extremely long time, but 10 years on October 1st is when we, did some stuff and to celebrate. And I think that the Pirates did a great job of bringing AJ and Russ Martin, some of the guys back to give people that winning feeling.
Thank you for that. So, in baseball especially, as we know, a good culture in the locker room brings championships. So what do you think this Pirates team needs to do to get to that culture, or do they already have it?
I don't know. I'd like to be in the clubhouse to be a little fly on the wall, but, to each his own. I'm hoping that they hang out quite a bit. That was the secret sauce that I was taught from the veterans that taught me about the culture and love and respect of the game. I'm hoping that, like I said, bringing in McCutcheon and Hill, I think that's their job, to have fun all the time, let loose, know when to, even when you're losing. I mean, that's the best time when it's easy when you're winning to have a good time and be up. It's when you're down, when you go through a stretch where you might lose, 4, 6, 8 games, a big series. It's picking yourself back up. Like I said, it's a 162 game season, and they got to do what they can with that.
Awesome. I heard a rumor that you know a little something about wine. What's that all about?
Well, life after baseball is good. There's so much time dedicated to living the dream out, and now all these things. I learned wine, the finer things about wine on the airplanes trips. Have a nice glass of wine, relaxing out of the game, and a bunch of my friends introduced me to wine that I couldn't afford. Being around some well-to-do athletes and my brothers introduced me some good wine, and I just did this as more of a charity thing. After I played on the Italian Baseball Classic, the World Baseball Classic for Team Italia, wanted to give back. So this was more of a creation that I did try to help and kick back to grow the game of baseball in Italy for and softball. So anybody that buys a bottle of my wine represents our Italian heritage, sharing my roots. We give back and try to help grow the game overseas so we can have more Italian-born players, hopefully in the big leagues one day, like we do here in the United States, Dominican, Venezuela, Japan, and we got the world's best baseball player in Shohei Ohtani from Japan. So a lot of development and seeing the culture of how baseball is becoming a global game. I mean, if I can do it through wine and help out, maybe another Joe DiMaggio, Yogi Berra come right out of Italy, that would be a cool thing. So, but yeah, in the meantime, we'll be at the spread table with a good charcuterie board and hopefully celebrating more Pirates victories with a little good vino.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And it's always beautiful to offer something that America has its best to offer to around the world. So I wanted to thank you for joining us this morning, Jason.
Hey, thanks for having me. Let's go Bucks. Let's go.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. All right, so we're going to toss it over to Josh Byrne, who is live down at PNC Park. What's up, Josh?
Thank you, David and Allie. Well, amidst the obvious technical difficulties, which I apologize for, we are here at PNC Park. In just a few short hours, the Pirates will begin in front of their home faithful here at PNC Park. As you guys noted, the vibes are very high here. So let's see what's in store this season for the Buccos at the ballpark. Andrew McCutcheon, of course, the big story this season, coming over after spending a few seasons with the Yankees and the Giants and the Phillies, making his way back home in his late 30s now, but still proving just a week into the season that he is still a very productive player. Not only him, but another veteran acquired this past offseason was Rich Hill. The 43-year-old Southpaw is going to take the ball today for the Pirates home opener, and he will be facing off against Lucas Giolito. So far, the Pirates are 4-2 this season, and they're coming off of a sweep of the Boston Red Sox. So the Buccos are definitely going to try to keep things going well here in Pittsburgh. And as I said, guys, the vibes are high. They got a good young core of players: O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds, and who's to say how far this team can go? It's certainly a much different feeling to this Pirates team than in years past. So let's see how it goes. And the Pirates begin their home season starting today in front of the Pirates faithful. From PNC Park, I'm City Sports reporter Josh Byrne. David, Allie.
Thank you so much, Josh. We also have our city beat reporter, Natalie Bellin, down on the North Shore by PNC Park, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about how these sports, especially baseball coming back in the spring, are going to impact the downtown economy, North Shore being so close to downtown. Natalie, what can you tell us?
Fans are bleeding black. Starting the usher here at PNC Park. PNC Park ushers want to work, but they want fair wages. Pittsburgh Stadium Independent Employees Union is the name of the union the Pirates ushers belong to. In 2005, ushers made $9 an hour. 2 decades later, they are making $9.35 an hour. The union claims the average usher pay across the country is $13.80. At a recent negotiating meeting, Pirates bargained $12.40. There was a 95% rejection on that offer. The ushers feel disappointed that their loyalty, effort, and commitment that they show at each game is being ignored.
During baseball season, the economic impact on the restaurant is I would say immeasurable, but surely we can measure the numbers. I talked with Mike earlier today, and he says that roughly 2/3 of our income does happen during the baseball season. And that includes both the home games and the fact that people are out and about in the summer more. A lot of the pro sports teams, and this goes nationally, don't realize how many people's day-to-day income is based on them showing up and working.
We certainly see a rise in our, our revenue, whether that's directly correlated to baseball season itself or just that more people are out and about in Pittsburgh. We will see a certain direct increase this Friday for the home opener. And I expect that to be, we're full on reservations. It's going to be a nice day before and after the game, as it does draw, another extra 10 to 12,000 people at least. So it certainly helps my revenue.
Thanks, Natalie. Once again, we apologize for any technical difficulties you may be experiencing. Pitt Athletics is putting the gold in blue and gold by cementing a new golden age. Pitt football, basketball, and soccer have reached new heights over the past couple years.
Or should we say victory heights? The woman behind this Pitt athletics renaissance has just received some major recognition for her work. And our Pitt sports reporter, Donnie Blackwell, has the story. Donnie?
Thanks, David. Heather Lyke has recently just won the Athletic Director of the Year award. She is one of 4 women who are athletic directors in Power 5 schools, making her the only female to win this award. Pitt has become one of the only schools with multiple ranked teams and championship wins, being named the number 22nd program in the nation. With Heather Lyke's strong vision for Pitt, there is no doubt that she can run a program.
Nino bringing home a national championship last night at 197, being undefeated. I couldn't be more proud of him and the work that he put in with Coach Gavin and the whole staff. I told Keith that I was tired of saying you were the last NCAA champion at Pitt. So Nino took care of that, which is great. And, I've said all along, I believe in comprehensive excellence and the importance of 19 teams being exceptional. And success is contagious. And I think we are starting to finally get a sense of that. And I think the trajectory of our department is really headed in the right direction with all the right people. And I've got a great team that I love working with every day.
Now something big is happening here on campus if you haven't realized the construction near the Peterson Event Center. The new athletic facility, Victory Heights, has just received the okay for construction. The $240 million investment will be the new home for Pitt Athletics and is set to be completed by 2025. Victory Heights will be the new center for 16 of the 19 athletic teams who were formerly practicing in the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. The new arena will hold 3,000 seats for gymnastics, volleyball, and wrestling, a gymnastics practice facility, indoor track, strength and conditioning facility, and more will be added. The excitement is here for Victory Heights. As Lyke mentions, the new facility will help athletes and coaches live up to the high standards and winning mindset that comes from the University of Pittsburgh.
The people that will be directly impacted every day are our coaches and our student athletes and our staff who live in these facilities. And I would argue successfully that we have recruited and retained the absolute best coaching staff that we can in college athletics. Our coaches directly impact the lives of other people's children every day. And I've said that before, but it's real, and it's an unbelievable responsibility and opportunity that they have.
Most athletic directors want to rebrand and want to build facilities, and I'll just say this: it became really clear at about a year in that Heather was going to pull this off. That it was like, wow, this is going to happen, and so it's cool to be here today.
University of Pittsburgh's athletic department will be holding a press conference later this Friday afternoon, where AD Heather Lyke is expected to announce the new women's basketball head coach. The new coach will most likely be University of Massachusetts head coach Tori Verdi. Verdi has led the Minute Women to 3 postseason appearances, and he is a native of New Britain, Connecticut. For Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt sports reporter Donnie Blackwell. David Alley.
Thanks, Donnie. Women's basketball is not the only Pitt team seeing some big changes to their coaching staff for the next season. The head coaching position of the Panthers gymnastics team is also up for grabs.
That's right, Allie. Athletics director Heather Lyke fired coach Samantha Snyder after 6 seasons. Snyder had a losing record of 50, 83, and 1, going 10 and 15 in the 2023 season.
Pitt Gymnastics has failed to qualify for the NCAA tournament every year since 2016 until this year, when it sent 3 Panthers to the regional championships. However, they did not advance beyond the regional rounds.
Pitt Athletics is still searching for a new coach, but Heather Lyke said she expects the search to attract national interest. Coming up, see the latest efforts from the Allegheny County Health Department in distributing life-saving medicine to help fight one of the world's largest narcotic epidemics.
Plus, hear more about a yearly undergraduate research conference at one of Pitt's regional campuses that is totally out of this world. Stay tuned to see it right after the break.
So one inventive tool that the University of Pittsburgh has is Pitt Funds Me. So Pitt Funds Me is for outside scholarships that you can review and apply for as well. There's 8,000 plus scholarships on that website. These scholarships have been vetted as good and reliable resources, so you can guarantee that these are not resources that are trying to steal money or trying to scam you in any way. Any student has access to this, even admitted students who have not deposited yet. When you go into your my.pitt.edu, you'll want to search in the Ask Kathy box, Pitt Funds Me, and make sure instead of an S in Pitt Funds Me, you're going to put a $sign. That will allow you to go into the portal to be able to look at all the outside scholarship opportunities that fit your specific profile. They will ask several questions. You do not have to answer all questions or any questions if you don't want to, but the more questions you answer, the more opportunities that become available to you to apply.
Welcome back to Pitt to the Point. A new initiative in Allegheny County is tackling one of our country's biggest problems today, the opioid epidemic.
Over 100,000 Americans died of opioid overdoses in 2021, and similar numbers are expected for the 2022 report. Allegheny County has an innovative solution to help fight the epidemic. For more, we go to Anthony Siki with our Medical Minute. Anthony?
Thanks, guys. Well, the horrifying opioid crisis continues to rage through the United States, claiming hundreds of lives every single day at the hands of opioid overdoses. Now, just last week, the FDA approved the over-the-counter sale of naloxone, better known as Narcan, as a monumental step forward in the fight against the opioid crisis. Now, as Narcan won't become available to purchase over-the-counter until the late summer, the Allegheny County Health Department is hosting pop-up events to not only distribute free Narcan, but provide other potentially life-saving services to the greater Pittsburgh area.
The battle against the opioid crisis continues to rage in the United States. Over the past 7 years, the amount of opioid-induced overdoses has risen significantly. In 2016, there were an estimated 42,249 deaths nationally due to opioid overdoses. In 2021, that number jumped to an estimated 80,411 deaths nationally, nearly doubling since 2016. As a point of reference, Acrisure Stadium has a seating capacity of 68,400 people. In an effort to combat the number of overdoses in the United States, just last week the FDA approved the over-the-counter sale of naloxone, better known as Narcan. This is a massive step forward in the fight against opioid-induced deaths, providing the life-saving drug at a reasonable price.
Not a lot of people know that there's a standing order that you can go into any pharmacy in the state of Pennsylvania without a prescription. However, it may be a little bit more costly to purchase it that way if you don't have insurance. This will be a more cost-effective way for individuals to be able to obtain naloxone.
In an effort to increase accessibility to Narcan and harm reduction services even further, the Allegheny County Health Department is hosting its Small Changes, Big Differences campaign. These events include pop-up sites to distribute free Narcan with many other services as well. While the campaign has a list of upcoming dates with many more planned this year than in the previous 3 years of the program, there are opportunities for any community to reach out and schedule a pop-up, helping the Allegheny County Health Department reach as many people as possible.
So last year we had 135 of them, and we provided approximately 9,000 kits of Narcan at those 135 pop-ups. We try to reach the person, so not just with Narcan, right? That's only one piece of that person. So we want to bring substance use treatment. We want to bring mental health treatment and information. We have a fatherhood engagement specialist. We want to try to bring as many different resources to the community.
Well, the Allegheny County Health Department's incredible efforts against the opioid crisis here in the Pittsburgh area will have a lasting effect. Their Small Changes, Big Differences campaign will continue with the next pop-up actually happening next Wednesday, April 12th at Onala Recovery Center in the South Side. For a full list of events and even a demonstration on how to use Narcan by Stacy Brown, you can head over to our website, pittothepoint.com. From Pitt to the Point, I'm your medical reporter, Anthony Siki, and now we're going to hop over to our regional campus reporter, Laura Stavish. Laura, what do you have for us?
The University of Pittsburgh is a top research institution, even boasting an R1 rating. But that distinction doesn't end on Pitt's main campus. At Pitt Johnstown this past week, they had their annual Space Conference, an undergraduate student research conference. We sat down with students at Pitt Johnstown to learn all about space.
At Pitt Johnstown, space doesn't just mean a vast area filled with stars, planets, and black holes that span across the universe. Here on this regional campus, SPACE is their annual campus-wide undergraduate research conference.
So let's start off with what it stands for, because I was talking to a couple other classmates and colleagues, and they thought we were just talking about space, the galaxy, and I realized how ambiguous that sounds. So space stands for the Symposium for the Promotion of the Creative and Academic Inquiry. So, and it's for all majors. It's not just STEM. So it can be psychology or literature. I know they do analysis of different types of topics. So it's literally all the majors coming together, presenting their research.
It is very informal for one. It is a mixture of poster sessions and a couple talks, depending on what the students are presenting, because there are posters from every facet of research. I've seen posters about acid mine drainage analysis next to a literature study. Every professor who can present, who does research, will present its space just to say, this is what I'm doing.
A lot of our research is trying to implement a more green curriculum into organic chemistry labs. Everyone was just coming up, seeing each other's posters. You got to speak. Everyone just had an interest. Everyone was encapsulated by all the posters. So I just thought it was really interesting and a good atmosphere for everyone to present what they've been working on.
Kind of whoever's doing research on campus, I think you can just register for it, and then they'll read your abstract and get approved and everything like that. So it was actually a pretty easy process to do, and they're always looking for more people to present there and stuff. So
for many students, this undergraduate research conference is the culmination of their academic education. And for faculty, well, it's a nice excuse to network.
Now, the space conference ended this past week, but it's not your last chance to catch research at Pitt Johnstown. You can go to their Fall into Research conference next semester. Dr. Tracy also wanted me to plug that him and Dr. Nigam are still looking for students interested in helping on their research in sustainable chemistry education. So if you're interested and you're a student at Pitt Johnstown, be sure to reach out to him. From Pitt to the Point, I'm your regional campus reporter, Laura Stravick. Allie, David?
Thanks, Laura. Really good to see all the great minds that we have at these regional campuses around here. Coming up, hear about a new film made by our very own Pitt alumni and learn more about how you yourself can see it.
Plus, we've heard all about Pitt's biggest athletic programs, but there's one club sport at Pitt that's also bringing home the gold.
And learn about a very special dedication to the creative minds at the University of Pittsburgh.
Don't miss it.
We are the University of Pittsburgh. We are the University of Pittsburgh, forged in a blue-collar city with gold standards, where innovators, researchers, thinkers, and healers are always reaching for new heights. There is no limit to what we can accomplish when we put our minds, our hands, our soul, and spirit toward it. Here, progress is always in progress. Hail to Pitt, proud partner of the ACC.
Welcome back to Pitt to the Point. A University of Pittsburgh graduate is screening his new film Above the Clouds today with Film Club Seen at Pitt.
Are you in that club, David? You seem kind of like a, I don't know, film geek to me.
Hey, language. Well, I am a film nut after all, and I might have to check it out myself. For more on the story, here's this week's Alumni Spotlight.
Hi, my name is John Hill, and I am a filmmaker.
Why don't we just ignore all the rules for today? Why don't we just say yes to every single thing?
When I went to Pitt, my favorite club to be in was UPTV. I was the TV station, and that's where we got all our start. Jumped right in sophomore year with a show called Loth or Well What, and I became the station manager and just spent every single day in that station teaching myself how to shoot, how to edit, teaching other students how to shoot, how to edit, putting in my 10,000 hours right here. For the last 7 years, I've had the privilege to work at Fox Sports Digital. I did the World Series, I did the Super Bowl, and I had done a bunch of shorts, I had done some pilots and a whole bunch of things like that, but I had never gotten to making a feature film, which is like the elusive white whale of this career. In Above the Clouds, the story is about me and my family at the time right after my father passed. So the person I was writing to was kind of myself at that age. There's no book about what to do when a parent dies. You know, what if you could be that film that someone who has gone through something like this, any kind of loss, you'd be able to watch 90 minutes of a film and kind of say to yourself like, oh, that helped me. I think Friday night's going to be very special. It'll really come full circle. It'll be the whole thing, you know. I love this university and I'm just so proud to be back.
Hey, Allie, you used to play any sports?
Oh yeah, I played field hockey all the way from 3rd grade until I came to Pitt. Played intramural for a little bit, but then I broke my nose, so I had to stop. How about you?
Well, I played soccer from 6th grade until I came here, then I had to stop. But I never came to quite an accolade as the Pitt Club hurling team.
You know, I bet that's true because this week for clubbing at Pitt, we have the 4-time consecutive national championship winning club hurling team. Let's take a look.
The University of Pittsburgh's club hurling team won their 4th consecutive national championship last week in Louisville, Kentucky. You may be wondering, what is hurling? President Liam Carmody and business manager Tyler Augie have some answers.
You have a ball that's like a baseball, you have a big stick kind of like a bat, and you have to hit the ball into the uprights for 1 point or into a soccer goal underneath for 3 points. And it's the fastest game on grass.
Don't be intimidated to join the best team in the country, as they are always open to new students of the game.
Pretty much our entire team does not know what hurling is when they come to Pitt or they join the team. I think we have maybe 1 or 2 kids on our team who had held a hurl even before they had joined the club, but we're still able to kind of teach them the sport. We're very adamant on making a learning environment. Everyone is picking up the sport for the first time at 18 or 19, so it's a new learning curve, but we really work to help kids learn the skills, teach them what we've picked up in the last few years, and we'd be able to become a pretty successful club doing that.
Being on the hurling team isn't just about winning. It's also about making lifelong memories and friendships.
I really have met my best friends here, seriously, and just going out, twice a week to where, you leave your troubles from school behind, you're just getting out on the field, focusing on something completely new. With a group of guys who are all just trying to lift you up and teach you and help you learn and get better every single week. It's just the best experience that I've had at Pitt.
At the end of every school year, the University of Pittsburgh honors some of its most creative graduating seniors with the Studio Arts Student Exhibition.
That's right, Allie. Detour is the name of the exposition. It can be viewed both virtually and in person at Frick Fine Arts Library from now until April 29th. For a preview, we go to our Pitt Beat reporter, Shay Sweeney. Shay, give us the 411.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. So the talented students in our Studio Arts department are presenting their most creative works at an exhibition in the Frick Fine Arts building all this month. As you said, the exhibition is called Detour. And it gives our university's artists their chance to really engage viewers in their hands-on and incredibly unique projects. This week, we were able to take a closer look at some of the artists, more of their work, and find out what inspired them.
So the exhibition is produced by the department through the students who are in the course. And we have 13 majors who are graduating this year.
The gallery features all kinds of stunning works, from sculptures to paintings to projections and interactive pieces. Senior students were able to cultivate their education into final pieces that explore many of the artist's own experiences from new and colorful angles. With a diverse range of styles and themes illustrated in this collection, there's something for everyone to be found in this exhibition.
Sculpture, 1 and 2 are required courses. You learn things with plaster and woodworking and metalworking. You need specific facilities for that, and we have them here, which has been super awesome.
So we have 34 works by seniors, and then we have 11 works by students invited by faculty. And so it's a way to elevate this excellent work and encourage students for the future.
This is like a public gallery, it's not exclusive to Pitt. So to have this space and to have this show and to have like the advertising, it's like a super good opportunity, and like a lot of people who aren't necessarily Pitt affiliated can come and see it.
The labels have texts written by the artists that give a little insight into the work, which is really nice, and that's a practice of the gallery that they started a couple years ago. Currently, our virtual tour is about to be released. We're working on a catalog, which will be a publication documenting the work of the seniors. I keep asking them, are you coming to hear the feedback? Because the feedback that we're hearing is that, and we know, this is an excellent show. I hope people will come see it.
The Detour exhibition will be in the Frick Fine Arts Building until April 29th, and it is free for students and for the public, so we really encourage you to check it out if you can. And on April 13th, the artists will be hosting a talkback session at the gallery to discuss some of their work. For more information, you can always check the Pitt Studio Arts Department website. For Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt Beat reporter Shay Sweeney. David, Ali?
Thanks, Shay. It may not be December, but it's kind of feeling like a holiday season here at Pitt.
Coming up after the break, you don't want to miss how several religions have been keeping their faith on campus this week.
And just in time for you to start making that summer playlist, we have a local new band to show you, and they're already blowing up. Stay right there, Pittsburgh.
We are the University of Pittsburgh. Forged. We are the University of Pittsburgh. Forged in a blue-collar city with gold standards, where innovators, researchers, thinkers, and healers are always reaching for new heights. There is no limit to what we can accomplish when we put our minds, our hands, our soul, and spirit to it. Here, progress is always in progress. Hail to Pitt, proud partner of the ACC.
Welcome back to Pitt to the Point. David, before I forget, I wanted to wish you a happy Passover. Have you been celebrating this week?
Oh, thank you so much. And a Chag Sameach to you too. I know my Jewish family is watching this show, and I really miss my grandmother's brisket and kugel right about now. But yeah, I went to Seder this Wednesday, and I absolutely loved it.
That's really nice. You know, this week doesn't just mark the start of Passover, it's also Easter on Sunday, and we're right in the middle of Ramadan. For more on how Pitt students are celebrating all these holidays, we're sending it over to our entertainment reporter, Lindsay Beck. What's the word, Lindsay?
Thanks, guys. Now, in case you didn't know, today is a particularly special day. It's Good Friday, also known as Holy Friday for followers of the Christian faith. But there are also several other religious observances happening throughout the month of April. Ramadan began March 22nd, Passover began April 5th, and we have Easter coming up on Sunday. And one thing that all of these have in common is the shared experience of tradition.
As we've begun the holy month of April, Ramadan has been in full swing since March 22nd. Ramadan is the holy lunar month for Muslims, believed to be the month that the first verses of the Quran were revealed to the Prophet Muhammad over 1,400 years ago. The MSA at Pitt holds events to celebrate.
Every night during Ramadan, they would have a iftar, and I think that's really cool that there's organization in Pitt that have these support organizations, especially for Muslims, because like there's not a lot of Muslims at the university, and like having a support system while you're going through like a really challenging time. I think it's really cool and helpful.
Passover began April 5th and is an 8-day festival celebrating the Israelites' journey from slavery in Egypt to freedom. Most Jewish Americans will observe Passover with a Seder, or a meal that includes ritualized foods, reading of the Exodus story, and other rituals on the first and second nights of the festival.
I really see the story of Passover, the story of the Exodus from Egypt in this way, as a moment to reflect on all of us. Really, how are we all learning and growing as leaders, and where we're at today and where we'd like to go in the future?
Good Friday and Easter for Christians are the commemorations of the days that Jesus Christ was crucified and the day that he was resurrected from the grave 3 days later. Easter is celebrated by society with colorful egg hunts and Easter bunny visits, but Christians also celebrate with fasting, the blessing of candles, holding baptisms, church services, and other traditions.
I just love that all throughout the month of April, people are coming together to celebrate their religions and their history. And there's just so many cool traditions. How could you not be excited to learn more about them? From Pitt to the Point, I'm your entertainment reporter, Lindsay Beck. Allie, David.
Some Pitt students are making their mark on the world of alternative rock music.
We'll tell you all about it when we come back.
Stay tuned.
We are the University of Pittsburgh, forged in a blue-collar city with gold standards, where innovators, researchers, thinkers, and healers are always reaching for new heights. There is no limit to what we can accomplish when we put our minds, our hands, our soul, and spirit toward it. Here, progress is always in progress. Hail to Pitt, proud partner of the ACC.
Allie, what are your top 3 musical artists right now?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. I love Flip Turn, and I've been really getting into this band called Inhaler recently, but of course I am a major Swiftie.
Who can get enough of Taylor Swift?
Oh yeah.
Personally, I'm a big Kendrick Lamar, DJ, and Backseat Lovers fan myself, but I just started listening to this new band that's definitely on the come up, and they're right here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, so this band called If Kansas Had Trees has members from right here at Pitt. Let's take a look.
My name is Stone Magana, and I am the drummer of If Kansas Had Trees. We are a band from northeastern PA. Collectively, we just say Wilkes-Barre. And we started making music back in 2020, and kind of just got lucky the past few weeks and found some like local internet success.
We're driving back from central New Jersey. It's super flat and it just has a bunch of trees, and I just like mumbled from the back of the car, this place looks like if Kansas had trees. We realized like that could be a good band name because a lot of those emo bands and everything have like really stupid names. Even if this doesn't go anywhere, this band is called If Kansas Had Trees. We played our first show a little over 2 years ago. Our latest single was Anything Right. And the song that we released before Anything Right, called Swallow, we released a month before. The first day it got like 4,000 or 5,000 streams, and we had never had that many streams on, I think like our entire EP altogether probably only had like 6,000 or 7,000. So like ending the day with just as many streams as your entire EP, and then seeing on Saturday night or Sunday morning, I think it was, it hitting 10,000 streams was really crazy. It was like waking up on Christmas and seeing presents when you still believe in Santa and everything. It was super cool.
Thanks for tuning in this morning on Pitt to the Point. I'm Allie Ross.
And I'm David Altman. Catch you next week.